Hello and welcome to Conversations with Chrissy. I'm your host, Whitney, and I'm here with MDOT MVA Administrator, Chrissy Nizer.
Hi, Whitney. Great to be with you again.
Good to see you, Chrissy. Now, as we wind down with the summertime and kind of head into fall, we want to share some operational updates and important safety tips with you to make sure that you stay on track all year round. So let's jump right into it, okay?
Sounds good.
Let's start with our branch office operations, Chrissy. So we're still appointment only.
That's right. So during COVID, we went to appointments only for obvious reasons. We wanted to control the volume of people that were in the branch offices, but we found, some positive things out of that. We were able to offer that convenient service for our customers, which is really always our goal. And so even though times have changed, we are still offering appointment only. And really the benefit to that is it spreads out the volume throughout the day and provide you with that great experience that you would expect with an appointment. We're actually serving more customers. We served over 300,000 in June. So even though we're appointment only, sometimes people think that means we're serving a smaller number, but in reality, we're actually serving more customers. Yeah. And so we've seen that year-over-year increase, which is really great. So we want to make sure folks are aware of a new service we offer, which is the ability to make an appointment the same day. So now if there's availability of the type of service that you need to have, you can go ahead and make that appointment the same day and go to the branch at your convenience. So, I know sometimes planning ahead is tough, so we actually have that same day availability now.
Can't beat that. Wow. Yeah. And so now there's another option that had been suspended for a little while because of COVID, of course, but I heard that it's back in a big way. Tell us about the MDOT MVA Mobile Bus.
Yeah, so folks love the MDOT MVA Mobile Bus because it comes right to them. I mean, what's more convenient than that, right? We have a great team of folks who come out in the community. They offer services where we don't have branch offices, so it's another way to make sure we're reaching the residents who may not have a branch that's close by them. And so they're rotating from Chestertown, Friendship Heights, and Ocean City. The days and hours vary, but it is on the scheduling system. So if you go on the scheduling system, you can find that. There are about 320 appointments available each month, and that's between Chestertown and Friendship Heights. 160 appointments available at Ocean City. So, maybe you're on vacation and take advantage of getting your MVA business done conveniently at the same time.
That's right.
They do mostly driver license and ID card transactions like renewing. And again, that appointment is required, but they'll be great, offer you great service and in and out and be able to be on your way.
Fantastic. Now, speaking of Ocean City, there are probably a lot of families who are planning to hit the road for a road trip this holiday weekend, right? To get that last little taste of summer. So what advice would you have to folks watching, who are planning to travel for the holiday?
Right. Well, everybody loves enjoying that Labor Day weekend, kind of the last weekend of summer. Kids are going back to school. And what we really say is the only safe holiday is really a sober holiday. So if you're planning to be behind the wheel, please make sure you have that sober plan, a sober ride to get home. Also commit to being the share the road driver. We know there'll be a lot of folks out enjoying the holiday, and that includes motorcycles. So, please look out for them and make sure that they're safe. We also know that our partners in law enforcement, including Maryland State Police, will be out, and so we encourage other important safety messages. Please slow down, park the phone, and make sure you buckle up. Wearing that seatbelt is the best thing that you can do if you are involved in a crash to protect yourself. We also know people will be going over the Bay Bridge, as you said, to enjoy our beautiful beaches. We do want to remind you of our sister agency that we partnered with Jim Ports, the Executive Director of Maryland Transportation Authority, last month. So their tip is always go early and leave late, right? Avoid those rush times when there's a lot more traffic on the bridge. Take advantage of a little less traffic and you'll have a smooth ride. Also want to remind you about staying on 50. That was a really important message that Jim shared. Want to make sure that we allow the local roads to be clear so people can get where they need to be who live in that area, as well as emergency vehicles. If something does happen, we want to make sure those first responders can get where they need to be.
Absolutely. Okay, for sure. Now, of course, we don't want to have any preventable tragedies this holiday weekend. And when I think of preventable tragedies, one of the first things that pops in my mind for this time of year, of course, unfortunately, are the dangers of a hot car, right? Unfortunately, in the summertime, a lot of times we see those kinds of deaths. And even though summer may be winding down, it's still getting pretty hot. So
It
what would
is.
you tell parents as far as, hot car safety?
It is, and even if the temperature is a little cooler outside, we're so humid, obviously, in Maryland with our humidity. But according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, in just 10 minutes, a car can heat up by 20 degrees. That's really pretty remarkable statistic.
That's intense, yeah.
A child's body temperature rises 3 to 5 times faster than an adult, so obviously it's a really important thing to remember. Unfortunately, we do hear way too many tragedies where a child is left in a car and unfortunately loses their life. And so we just want to remind everybody, it is a crime to leave a child younger than 8 years of age in the car, even if the engine's running. But more than a crime, I mean, we just don't want to lose any of our youngest residents. We want to protect them as much as possible. We know that about half of the deaths that happen in a hot car are simply because they forgot that the child was in the back seat. We're all very busy trying to get all of our errands done, get to and from work, all those things. And so there's some tips that NHTSA has put together to try to train yourself to park, look in the back seat, and then lock. Always check your vehicle before you do lock it. Place a personal item sometimes, like your purse or briefcase, in the back seat, because you'll have to grab that before you get out of the car. You could also write a note and place a stuffed animal in your passenger seat. Again, remind yourself that child is back there. Whatever you need to do, but we want to protect our little ones and make sure they're all safe. And so just do want to remind people that hot car is really dangerous. We don't always think about that, but even when the temperature is a little cooler, it can be dangerous.
For sure. Now, another good tip as kids are heading back to school would be ask your child care provider or teacher to give you a call if your child doesn't arrive at school on time as expected. So just another tip there for parents. But that's just one thing that parents need to consider when we talk about and think about back to school safety. What would be some other things?
That's right. It's always exciting at the beginning of the school year. Kids head back to the classroom, but we want to make sure that drivers are aware about school zones, especially in neighborhoods. Obviously, buses are stopping, whether they're loading students or unloading them, and so just need to look out, take that extra time and attention during this time of year. There's some examples of when you need to stop, and making sure that you're aware of the school bus and the appropriate measures you need to take there. We also know that in addition to a school bus, not all children get to school that way by bus or car. Many of them walk or bike. So obviously pedestrian safety is a constant message that we put out there. Always stop at crosswalks and give their bicyclists 3 feet. Parents, I want to encourage them to remind children about looking both ways before they cross. There's some great books. I know the Maryland Highway Safety Office has put some videos out there with books that remind kids in a fun way about looking both ways. So look for those kind of educational materials. And obviously if they're biking, make sure they have that helmet on and that it's properly fitted for their safety.
Absolutely. And the Maryland Highway Safety Office also has some awesome graphics that, actually illustrate exactly where you should stop if you are, on the road with a school bus. So definitely some good resources there. And speaking of the Maryland Highway Safety Office, we want to remind everyone that they will be out with the rollover simulator at the Maryland State Fair, September 1st through the 6th, offering demonstrations. Now, we know that one always gets a lot of attention, but it has a really important message, right, Chrissy? It demonstrates exactly what happens if you are unbelted in a rollover crash. So important message there. Check that out. And also for more information on the simulator and other highway safety messages, visit zerodeathsmd.gov. And for everything MVA, including scheduling an appointment or taking advantage of our e-store services, visit mva.maryland.gov. That's all the time we have for today, but I want to thank Chrissy for being here and thank you for watching. Until next time, take care and stay safe.